Femme House fam, her mix a lot, Femme House Radio, the craziest episode you can imagine. DJ MINX, Ultra NATÉ, and DIGGS here with me today, all at the same time. Thank y'all for being here.
Thank you. Thank you for
Hey,
having
thank you
us.
for having us. Awesome. Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
really excited to be here.
So the reason we're all here together, for those of you that don't know, on Friday, March the 6th, we are dropping the third annual Femme House Insomniac compilation, and these icons have a track all at the same time together. Tell me about the track. What's the sonic? How did it come together? What's the sonic language? Like, give me every bit of tea that you have.
Well, let me say first, as far as the production aspect of it, which is where it started, I wanted to. A lot of times I play tracks that are released on labels that are by men, or I mean, just I'm a woman, so I want to put more women out there. So I produced this track with Ultra in mind, but I was kind of skating on the idea because of the way she does vocals with Soulful House, etc. And I spoke to her one day and she was like, no, just send me what you got. And while I was working on this track, I'm like, I'm being hard for her. And then she's like, no, we rocking with this. And
Right.
so,
And I
yeah,
had the track for a little minute, but my
yeah.
tour schedule was a little crazy. But I would check in
Mhm.
with MINX periodically because we had been wanting to work together. We had been supporting each other, doing each other's parties and events, and just kind of building our relationship and sisterhood. And so this was like a natural next step to work on some music together. So I just would hit her periodically with my ridiculous schedule. Like, girl, I haven't forgot. I'm going to get in this track. I'm going to get in this track. As soon as I get a
Yeah.
chance, it's on my radar. And then it's kind of simultaneously like on another side of the street, the relationship with Dee was formulating in that the Sonar Festival had come up and it was proposed for me to do B2B with Dee for this closing session of the Sonar Festival. And then working backwards from there, because the festival was in June of that year. So working backwards from there, it was like, okay, well, it'd be really great for Dee and I to have a collaboration together as well, just beyond just that one moment when we're playing together and building our relationship and sisterhood as well. And so it was like, okay, I've got this really great track from MINX. It's going to be left of where people are used to hearing me, which is what I loved about it. You know what I mean? Which is why I wanted to work with her. She's a Detroit queen. She's tech queen. She's like the history, the culture, the moment, like all the
Yeah.
things. And it's all about reinforcing, Black voices, women's voices, like, collaboratively, individually, like it represented to me all the things. So it kind of made sense to really drill down, work on this track that I had like all this intention of getting done, and then like bringing Dee's essence into the equation. And then that works out all the collaborations that I was really interested in doing at that moment. So I was like, hey, Minx, I got this plan. I'm going to write to the track. I got some ideas. I'm going to shuffle around. I'm going to bring DIGGS in, see what you think. What do you think? And she was just like, dope, fabulous. Can't wait to hear it. And just kind of, left it to the kids to go quarterback and write some stuff and see what you come up with. And so I just kind of wrote like some chorus parts, some bits, some harmonies and things like that of a what I felt would be a strong chorus, kind of representing empowerment and encompassing this story of three women that have their own space, that have carved their own lanes, that are now collaborating, that are pushing the vibe forward literally and figuratively with the song. And then I sent it to Dee for her to put her magic on, like add to it, gave her plenty of space to add whatever her flavor was going to be. And she can tell you about what happened at that juncture.
Yeah. I mean, it's not every day someone's like, check your email. And it's like, I feel like the demo already said DJ MINX, Alternate, DIGGS. I was floored. I was like, what? What's happening? What's happening today? I was like, oh my gosh. Like I needed a moment before I even opened the email, listen to anything. I was like mind blown already at that point. But yeah, luckily this was all happening during a time that I was just like really in a good schedule and rotation of like going to the studio that I work at a lot and working on my album. So this kind of came in a day where, I was already going to be in studio. And yeah, I think it is also definitely like sound wise a departure from like my sort of like genre mix. But I immediately like just felt this vibe of empowerment and of like women sort of like building this vision together. And just like from just like the soundscape of the music, it is a very like driving sort of vibe. And so I was just sort of having this moment and thinking about how I could add to all of the beauty that was already there in a way that would just like mesh well. I'm like Alternate has a beautiful voice, one that I fallen in love with. Like I'm like not gonna do too much. I'm a singing. We have a singer. I'm like, what am I gonna what special touch am I gonna bring to the mix? And so yeah, maybe getting into my DJ mind a little more and thinking more of like a sampley sort of vibe, like what sort of like words or what energy can add to what we already have going forward and pushing the vibe forward. So,
And you killed it. Killed it.
oh, thank
You
you,
killed
thank
it. You
you.
Definitely.
you,
I love
you
it.
all killed it. It's
No,
it's
she really
definitely my
killed it. When I got
we
the track
have
back, I was like, okay, D, I hear you.
Yeah.
And Ultra
we
gonna casually send me that track talking about, let me know what you think about this. I was like, man,
Oh,
I was like, what the heck?
We did a little something.
let me
Let
know
me
oh,
know
what
what
you
you
think
think.
Pacing
about this.
around, pacing the floor, listening. Oh, yes, honey. I
yes,
love, love, love it.
exactly. It is, it,
It's
it
so
is, it is,
special.
it is addictive. I've heard that from people. They're like, once you hear it one time, you have to run it back.
It's an
Yeah.
earworm. It like you said, it is driving. You can feel it. It truly feels like pushing the vibe, like marching forward.
That was
D,
the
I
energy I
wanna.
wanted to create with the chorus. Like
Yeah,
whatever Minx
yeah.
was gonna do, Minx is gonna give you that drive. And D brought like that really cool, like she said, that sample delic kind of moment. And under that, to underpin all of that is just that, the chorus that just chants. And it is in a marching kind of theme as well. So I'm glad that came through.
D, I want to ask you about just being in the presence of two icons. Like this is truly the breath of history of house music, of dance music, of Black music. What was that like for you as a young artist to number one have them sort of place this really um, phenomenal trust in you with the
Yeah.
track that they'd been working on for sounds like for a long time, and also
Hmm.
to feel I can just feel how proud they are of you and how you
Uh,
rose to the occasion and
Very.
how you added something that only you could add to this track. How does that sit with you?
I mean, I feel like for me, it was a moment of really divine alignment, I have to say. Like, I feel like from the moment that I always say that when I learned that house and techno music were Black, like something in my brain like shifted, in terms
Hmm.
of how I thought about everything and how I understood my own taste, the things that I gravitate towards, like musically and sonically. And to just learn that all of that is in your backyard, to go through the like new and exciting phases of, you know, digging for the first time, hearing all those classics, seeing DJ Minx and seeing Alternate, whether it's on YouTube or in the record bins. And to this moment where I get to collaborate with them, for me, it just made me feel like I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, like to actually like pursue this in a way where I end up on a track with people who represent Black female excellence for me and the way that they carry themselves in their career, but also in the sound and the pure, just like strength of their energy. For me in that moment, it was like, all the things feeling humbled, feeling inspired, feeling in awe. But in that moment, I was like, this is a moment of undeniable alignment, and now it's going to be archived into something really special.
Mm. It's International Women's History Month. We're coming up on International Women's History Day. That's part of why we have all this programming. MINX and NATÉ, you are known industry-wide for how you reach back to artists that need your help, the way you make yourselves available to mentor younger artists, Black femme folks specifically. What does International Women's History Month mean to you all, not just this month, but every day and how you do your work?
Minx, I'll let you take that first. Okay.
For me, International Women's History, first of all, being a woman, we all started it. We started everything. We birth, we feed, we give. We've always done that. When I started with the music, I felt like, of course, it wasn't enough of us out there. It wasn't enough women, and it definitely wasn't enough Black women. So when I started using women in my parties, women on wax, I did that because of that very reason. And this is before I knew anything about Women's History Month. Okay. It's just that it was a lack of us out there. It was a lack of support. I was looking at what I was dealing with and what I didn't want anyone else to go through because people were already looking up to me for how far I'd gotten in such a small amount of time. I felt like, you know what? Let me help the next person to grow if I can in any way. Yeah, we have our boundaries. Women, to this day, we've got people that are being harassed and treated a certain way because they're a woman. We have certain aspects and things that we have to do on a daily basis, whereas, a male counterpart may not deal with. So for this to be a Women's History Month, this is actually a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle of things that I wanted to do to help provide for the ladies that are out there that are growing for our next generation, for us to continuously push, like you said, push the vibe. We got to grab what we want and keep it going forward. We cannot let this slip. I don't mind helping anybody that I can. I love my females, female identifying, whatever, anyone that needs support, I am going to do my best to support them. So, like I said, it's not just today, it's always, it's every day for me. So, we appreciate you and Insomniac doing this for us, especially this month. I'm so looking forward to the release.
Absolutely. I mean, for me, again, to build on what Mink said, really, it's about this is our reality every day, all day. These are our stories. These are this is our lifestyle. This is our culture. Anything Black women have started or become part of, we've always leaned into 110% and evolved it and created our own lanes when there were no lanes for us. And then eventually everybody comes knocking and wants to, be a part of those lanes and eventually try to appropriate it and remove where those origins are. So it's very important that our representation is always there. And it's amazing to be centered in this way from Insomniac and Femme House to center us in this way because, a lot of times it is overlooked. I mean, we've started in a culture that's male dominated. And more so than that, to be Black women on top of it, that's a double whammy. So a lot of times people want our essence, they want our voices, they want our vibes, but they don't want to center us, our names, our images, because they're selling this narrative that we're not marketable or we're not commercially viable. However, they still want that thing that Black women have. So it's really important. And you know what that thing is. You know what I mean? That thing that makes, it's just that special essence that we carry. And it's built on a lot of history, a lot of, negative things that have happened to us as a culture. But we carry those things and we have always pushed through and figured out a way to empower ourselves. So everything we do, whether it's Women's History Month or just a regular day in the neighborhood, we are representing not only ourselves, but we are representing all the women out there, and especially Black women who are always the underdog.
That's so powerful. And I actually I want to really amplify the Black women part of it, right? Like the Black women part of it is all the labor that we carry in life, not just in dance, but in every space that we exist. All the labor that
Mm.
we do, the emotional labor, the physical labor, the mental labor, the gymnastics that we have to do to just peacefully exist. One of my favorite things that I've seen while working with Femme House, and I actually want to use this opportunity to thank both you, Nate, and you, Minx, for creating this culture. Y'all were some of the first to start defecting from sort of this mainstream system and building the industry that you wanted for the people and the communities that you wanted to serve. And now we have DIGGS, and now we have Unique, and now we have Aluna Francis, and now we have Coco and Breezy, and now we have Honey Love, and now we have Susie Analog. And there is an entire generation of Black femmes that have defected from the mainstream system because of the example that you laid, and have created these beautiful economies, these beautiful ecosystems, these beautiful communities that are unapologetic with what they provide. And they're able to do that because of the example that you've set for us to do that. They're able to do that, to know that it can be done because of everything that you endured for them to be able to do that. So I just want to publicly say thank you for that on behalf
Thank
of
you.
all the Black femmes in this industry that look up to you and what you have done for us. You've really opened so many doors and showed us what's possible. And it's really fantastic for me to see y'all get your flowers, first of all, but to see the flowers that you get every day just by us being able to exist and
Mhm.
work for our livelihoods and provide for our families and provide for our people, provide for our communities and have impact and serve and do the things that we love. And y'all showed us how. Y'all showed us how. You showed us what was possible.
Thank you. Wow.
Yes.
And it's important to keep paying it forward. And, that feeds our soul for someone like Minx and I, who have been doing this a number of years, and we've been living the grind and, reaping the benefits slowly over time. It's really important to open that up and to work with DIGGS or someone, of the younger generations, because they also help to inspire us. After a while, you've been, when you get beat down, knocked around, and you're working hard and you're grinding, you still need to be inspired as well, no matter how long you've been doing it.
Come here. Stop it.
So we appreciate, when I wrote the beginnings of Push the Vibe, Dee and I hadn't even met yet.
Hmm.
We were just anticipating working together, and we didn't get to meet literally until the moment we stepped on stage to play together. And so many
Hmm.
people came away from that set. And, if you look at the YouTube clip of it, you can see all of the comments, but people came away from that set really feeling something transcendental had happened in that moment. And it was two Black women who just got together synergistically in that moment, in that live moment, had never played records together before, had never laid eyes on each other in person before that moment. But we knew who we were. We were
Mm,
already, sisters in that moment. Like,
mm,
you come to the table
mm.
in the spirit of community, in the spirit of partnership and collaboration. And then it just all just works out from there. And trust. It's about the trust of what each entity is going to bring to the table. And I think a lot of that has been missing over the years,
Uh,
with the few women that are in these spaces, is that, we're not given a lot of opportunities to really highlight and show what we can do. That was a very powerful moment for Dee and I to play together like that. Um, and doing it on our own. Minx, again, doing her events all on her own, carrying the weight of that. Mine doing my Deep Sugar parties for 23 years now here, carrying the weight of that. These things have been labors of love because we want to
Yeah.
do our art, but we also have made a business out of our art at the same time. And there's a lot of time, commitment, and sacrifice that goes into that. So, um, to be in this moment where the industry and entities out there are starting to recognize that and give us, feedback, positive feedback and support in a real way. Like, it's been a long time coming.
Sure.
Yes.
That's for sure. Yeah. And a lot of times we watched it happen, things that we do on a daily basis. We watched it happen and we weren't the ones doing, but we initiated. We just
Mhm.
watched it flow. And it's almost like I've been doing that the entire time. We've been busting our butts this entire time, but the recognition for us as Black women, it's not out there like that. It's like we just fly under the radar. Nobody sees that we are doing the same things that's being done or that's being done for the first time. But yet we've been here the whole time. So, yes, the recognition after all these years, decades, we can say, the recognition after decades of busting our tails is finally here. Yet it is still the same in terms of us not being out there as others are, because we are Black women. And
Mhm.
everything that we do is looked at in a specific way, not like it should be, not like we should be viewed. But I just got to the point of saying, you know what? We're badasses. We rocking it, and we just gonna keep flowing like we flow. Like it's not gonna
Right.
stop me. It's not gonna make me go, you know what? I'm done with this. Now in the beginning, it was a struggle because
Right.
you got like it's the man's world thing. You shouldn't be doing this.
Uh,
What are you doing? Sit down. Why are you playing like that? You play like you have a penis. Are you serious? Are you really a woman? It's so much shit that we caught, but now we rocking, because I can go on a whole nother. We can go into next Women's Month talking about this if I get into it really, but we don't have to. But yes,
You
we
know
look
what?
at the next generation of us. Yes, I yes.
You
Hmm.
know what? In the
Yeah.
Femi building, in the Fem House building, y'all good on every block. You good in every hood. I'm talking to a pioneer award honoree. I'm talking to the voice of house right now. Like, you know, we giving flowers because y'all built this for us, literally. Like, we have
uh,
jobs because of y'all. I feed my daughter because of y'all. You know what I mean? And
Oh,
it's just
wow.
like,
So sweet.
I'm gonna one of the reasons I wanted to do the Femi Awards, and I said this when I was giving you your award last year, Minx, it's important. We almost lost you because the industry was making it too hard for you to rock. You know what I mean? And
uh,
it's just like, think about the
mm,
culture that we would have lost. Think of think
uh,
of think of all the people that wouldn't exist, all the artists that wouldn't have come along because you weren't there. And so part of the reason we do the Femmies isn't just to honor y'all, but to remind motherfuckers who
uh,
started this and
Mhm.
remind
um,
motherfuckers that y'all are still here, that you deserve your flowers, that you deserve your
uh,
rates, that you deserve your stages. And
Mhm.
that's what we're doing. And we
I
getting it back
absolutely.
in
appreciate you.
blood. We
Yeah.
getting it back.
Right
Uh-huh.
on. See? Yeah.
I could yap with y'all all day, as you know. I can't. My editor is going to get mad. This interview is
Of course.
already double the time that I'm allowed to be able to actually talk with people. Before we go though, I would love for each of you to tell me what you would say to folks coming up behind you that want to, as we say, push the vibe.
Mm.
Well, the first thing
Ooh.
What?
I would say is
Yeah.
if someone wants to come forward and push the vibe, eh, let's we won't dwell on what happened in the past. We'll look at what we're
Mm,
working with today, and we will push
uh,
forward and be forward thinking. Set yourself apart from the others, because that's what we have to do. Set yourself apart from the others. And what can you do that no one else is doing, or you can do differently that someone's doing to stand out? Do your best to stand out, but do not stand back and say, I cannot do this, because people are pushing you down. You got to raise up, put
uh,
the crown on, and keep it flowing. I really want people to know that you can do what you set your mind to. You may do it differently than me. You may do it differently than D. You may be different than Ultra, but you can do what you set your mind to. So just
um,
push forward.
Yep. D.
yeah. I would say, and indefinitely coming up, um, you I think a lot of the times you are seeking the cosign of someone beyond you when, especially in building, all of your treasure is right there alongside of you. Like, it's really looking in your community and looking at who is overlooked and linking with them to build something. Like, every big evolution, everything that every time I've ever elevated, it's been through collaboration. Like,
Mm.
music is actually not something that you're supposed to do by yourself, you know? Like, there are parts of it you do by yourself, but so much of it is communal for the reason that many minds coming together, many visions coming together is always going to be more beautiful, you know? So I definitely, especially in those, like, in the beginning and the intermediate stage, I'm only 10 years in the game, so I have my stacks compared to the legends. And on this other side of it, I really have just always appreciated all of the people that I've just been able to meet, and even just having a little conversation, like, at a club together about a song or an album you really love. Like, those are the moments when you see who's in it for the pure love of the music and the passion of being there to share that with other people. And I feel like that takes you a lot further than people may realize or may emphasize.
Absolutely. I would say
Yes.
to the younger generation coming up, working in this space, to be fearless, to learn how to walk and chew gum at the same time, how to build
Mm,
internally while you build externally.
mm,
Internally, you work from a place of faith and a place of fearlessness because there are no mistakes. Don't be afraid to be happy. Don't be afraid to succeed. And most importantly, don't be afraid to fail because you need to be continually putting yourself out there and failing because that's where the real value and lessons come in of learning what not to do or a better way to do a thing. And the more experiences that you create, the more you're going to learn faster and the more community that you're going to build. But you also want to make sure that you're taking care of your heart, your infrastructure, your soul, and who you are and what that person wants to represent in the world because everything matters. Everything stays out there in the big wide world forever and ever and ever now. So you need to be very clear about what it is that you're doing, what you're putting out, what you can look back on 20 years from now and still stand on and feel good about.
Mhm.
You don't need to follow what other people are doing is trending. You can pay attention and see what's working over here, what's working over there. You eat the meat, you spit out the bones, and you keep moving forward.
Damn,
yeah.
y'all ate that.
That's the advice.
My goodness.
A lot of wisdom on this call.
It's a lot of wisdom on this call. I am so grateful to have spent some time with it with y'all today. I'm so grateful for the wisdom that y'all give me every day that I carry in my life every day. I am just so grateful for all the work that you do. And I cannot wait to honor you girls. Oh my God, Ultra, I'm going to give you an award. Minx will tell you too, I'm going to be hooting, hollering, screaming, crying, throwing up.
I
I
love it.
cannot,
Yes.
I can't help it.
Yes.
Everybody knows it. Everybody
Ah,
expects it. But it is such an honor to exist at the same time that y'all exist. And again, I can't thank you enough for
Love that.
the art and the culture and the vulnerability and the wisdom that you provide, for me personally, first and foremost, but for our little business that we all, that gets on our nerves, but that we all love deeply. Because that's, girl, you better love it if you go. I
you
tell my
better love it
students,
for sure.
you better love it,
Right.
girl, because ain't
You
hardly no
better.
perks about it. You
Man.
you definitely not here for the money, so you really do have to love this,
Right.
girl.
Right on.
Um, so it's such an honor to help release this record into the world and help push the vibe. And man, we can't wait for release date. Man, it's
In the
Friday's gonna be lit.
house. Got a
Yes.
So y'all go get
business.
that.
Thank you so much. Thank
Yes. Yeah,
you.
thank
We're
you.
looking forward to the
Yes.
release.
Thank y'all.
Mhm.
Fem House fam, this has been the best episode of Fem House Radio that you've ever seen, that I've ever hosted. This is DJ Minx. This is DIGGS. This is Ultra Nate. It's lit. I'm her Mix a Lot. Peace.
Peace out.
Bye, guys.